This is the future.
I'm assuming that new players are lost right now when they see the thumbnail and title of this video, suggesting that it's not Wisp that is the original damage cap Warframe in the game. Well, lads, you got a long way to go I guess, and if you haven't heard, Breach Surge Eclipse Wisp with Exodia Contagion doesn't hit the damage cap anymore. Update 32 Cold Citrene's last Wisp has nerfed Breach Surge to the point that it's nowhere near the original power of the ability. Digital Extremes changed Wisp's Breach Surge to apply a multiplier before the cap to fix the ability, resulting in billions of damage. In the past, it adds 100 damage up to 5 million cap, then multiplies by multiplier times power strength. Right now, the calculation is totally different, and it nerfed the ability down as it only add 100 damage times multiplier then power strength up to 5 million cap. With a little switcheroo, Digital Extremes managed to balance Wisp Breach Surge, and you can say goodbye to seeing 2 billion negative integers while using this ability paired with Mirage Eclipse. Now, if there's one Warframe that has been doing, and providing other Warframes damage cap, that is Banshee. You may think of this Warframe as food for the Helminth so you can get her silence ability to max rank your Warframes fast in Telsto Saturn, but the thing is, Banshee is more than just a tool for the Helminth system. This Warframe is the original damage cap Warframe, and still, after almost a decade, the Warframe has its perk of providing damage cap to players. How did you ask? With the help of her sonar ability. With this ability, Banshee emits a sound wave and reveals the location of every enemy within the area. Tracked enemies will be visible on every player's minimap, and each enemy will have a body part highlighted. These effects last for a couple of seconds and can be increased by duration mods. Now, here's the best part of the ability. Hitting an enemy in the highlighted area causes the inflicted damage to be multiplied by a certain percentage, and the higher your power strength, the better the damage multiplier. Damage can also be increased by body part multipliers such as the head or unprotected body parts. Damage over time status effects, for example slash, electricity, and gas, are not affected by damage multiplier. Also, the final damage output is affected by critical, finisher, and even stealth and other damage buffing abilities, hence the output will blow up like crazy, providing you with a large damage number orgasm in your screen. Sometimes, when I'm playing Banshee in a team, some new players will get surprised that they see huge numbers on their screen and feel so proud of themselves. Well, if only they knew that Banshee is providing them that damage numbers, and I hope this video will do. In the past, Banshee players are usually spamming her sonar ability to cover all parts of the enemies, but there's a better way to be efficient with that, and this is with the help of its augment called Resonance. This is a Warframe augment mod for Banshee's sonar that triggers an additional sonar pulse with a fraction of the original pulse's remaining duration if an enemy is killed in a highlighted weak spot. With this, you don't need to spam her sonar as every time you kill an enemy. The effect will scatter in a wide range, depending on how much range you have in your build. How about her other abilities, Squad Leader? Well, this is where the problem lies while using this Warframe. Sonic Boom and her Quake abilities suck ass, and I'm hoping soon, Digital Extremes will somehow fill the most needed feature for Banshee, and replace these abilities with a survivability kit. I have heard a pretty years ago about a guy suggesting that Banshee should have a survival skill called Sound Barrier, which literally will help Banshee in terms of survivability. Now, I know for the most part, players are using Savage Silence not just to proc finisher damage or even stealth damage multiplier, but also for the short stun that it provides. If you have the augment in your Banshee, you will somehow gain close to 5 seconds stun with silence, but honestly, this is not even that helpful, especially if you are playing solo. Banshee is just like a glass cannon Warframe, as aside from a Savage Silence setup, there's nothing else you can do to make her survive better, unless you do the shield gating mechanic though. But with that also, still, it's hard to survive while playing Banshee, and I honestly think that a Sound Barrier ability, wherein it provides some sort of a sonic shield that depletes over time, will somehow be very useful for this Warframe. Just think of this as a warding Halo style ability that depletes after a few hits, or even just as simple as a Marulino ability. This way, Banshee can be super fun while playing solo or with a team. But is there no way to make Banshee survive better right now? There is actually, but some may hate it as we will tap into the power of the Helminth system. The very first thing you can do is to subsume Octavia's Resonator into a Banshee so she can aggro control enemies. When Resonator is in the field, you will have no problem with enemies hitting you, but this doesn't guarantee a high survivability rate since sometimes you will die from those enemies not affected by Resonator. The same goes with a Muzzle Flash Resonance Banshee. I have featured this in the past, and what this combo needs is you kill fast so you can meet the requirement of Muzzle Flash in killing 10 enemies to proc the blind mechanic. It's pretty wild since blind has a decent radius and really pairs well with Savage Silence, but this got fucked up by the Eximus rework, wherein you can't crowd control these special units anymore when they have their overguards. This combo was fun in the past, but absolutely been nerfed to the ground right now. In the meantime, I'm using the Gloom setup for Banshee. Oh god, another Gloom video. Yes, and you can't blame me as Gloom can provide better survivability on my playstyle. I know that Gloom is the same with Resonator and Muzzle Flash, as it will also have problems with Eximus units, but the good thing about Gloom is that other units don't move that much when they are slowed by this. In addition, it somehow gives health steal, which pairs well with shield gating to form layers of survivability. If there's one thing I like about Gloom is that I can solo Banshee in Steel Path and beyond using this combo, but if there's one piece of advice I can give you, that is not giving too much range for a Gloom Banshee. With Gloom in your build, you will be balancing your energy, especially if you don't have enough Archon shards yet to increase the power strength of your Banshee. What you need is at least max slow of Gloom to somehow almost halt the enemy movement within range, but you don't want to put too much range with overextended since it will drain your energy fast. Stretch is the perfect mod for this because it allows me to crowd control a bunch of enemies within the area and kill them fast, before moving into the next area and CC another batch, then sonar, and killing them again. Another thing is that Emergence Dissipate Arcane will provide a hefty amount of energy for this synergy. With the combination of this, you will have enough energy to somehow cast Sonar over and over again, saving you one mod slot intended for Resonance, and adding other mods that you deem helpful for your playstyle. Now, this build is mostly for solo plays, and I think the Muzzle Flash setup would be better for team composition since you get a wide area with it, extending the Sonar's reach even more, and letting your teammates massacre the enemies with crazy damage numbers popping in their screen. So that's all about it. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.